Now, what if their perspective is wrong? Because we're all fallible. Therefore, what the other person thinks is the best for them isn't really the best for them. What am I going to do then? Well, I can't control them. So I've got to let them discover the consequences of their choice. Now, I can try and dissuade them, and I can try and talk it through and try and let them see, well, that's not really a good idea, but it is their choice. And sometimes unconditional love is saying, I love you too much to control you. I want to protect you, but you have to learn in this situation now, so that next time you'll make a wiser decision. That's really hard, but God does that with us. He allows us to make decisions which are not the best. Would he try and help us make a better decision? Yes, he'll try and guide us. He'll try and help us to make a better decision, but he'll let us make the decision, but then he'll always try and bring good out of it. And that is the key to unconditional love. He'll always try and bring good out of it, and he won't be, I told you so. You know, he won't be focusing on, well, there, you're suffering the consequences of your bad choice. Because that is, well, I was right and you're wrong. Now I'm proving it to you. Now you know it. But that attitude is not loving unconditionally. So it's quite complex and quite difficult when it comes to relationships with each other, because of the nature of us having not really experienced unconditional love, or knowing how to give unconditional love. And I think, well, I know God loves me unconditionally, so I've got to look at, well, how does he treat me? How does he respect me and who I am? And how does he demonstrate his love to me? Because once I know how God loves me, then I can then begin to think about loving others. You know, because Jesus said, love one another as I have loved you. Well, what was that love? You know, what did it look like? How did they receive it? And then how did it motivate them to love each other as they'd been loved by him? Well, it had to be in an unconditionally loving way, which is why he talked about forgiveness. Make sure you keep your heart right towards one another. Forgive one another. Pray for one another. Want the best for one another. Because that's expressed in how he treats us. But you can't control someone even when you know what they're doing is absolutely the wrong thing. You know, and that's really hard then. But that's where the reality of relationship comes in. Does a relationship stand the test of people getting it wrong and then treating each other accordingly once they do? Without that, I told you so, or superior attitude of, well, I knew best all along. You know, and actually, you've got to never even say it like that ever again. But look at, well, how can I help? What can I do in this situation now? How can we bring good out of this situation? You know, and there are lots of questions you can ask to bring about what the best is in that situation, which won't be good questions if you are coming from the wrong attitude. You know, and it's better not to have to prove you're right than have a broken relationship. You know, I'd rather have the relationship than be proved right, even if I am right. Because what does it serve if my attitude of being proved right breaks the relationship or damages the relationship? So it's very interesting. You know, the more you experience and know God's unconditional love, then when you look around, it's so hard to see that in everyday life, in the way in which we are with one another. But that's what Jesus wants it to be.
If you enjoy these videos, would you please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe? It really does help. Thank you very much.